Dude, what the hell? Why did you tank that game?
Whoa, why do you say that? Why can't it just be that you beat us?
Oh, come on. No self-respecting team plays Max Jones in their top 6 without some kind of agenda.
You don't know that. Maybe we just like him in our top 6.
Are you about to cry right now?
No. I think I'm just having an allergic reaction to Max Jones being on our second line.
That's not a real allergy.
Tell that to my closing throat.
You're clearly choking yourself.
Oh, am I? Is that what I'm...
Dude? Dude? Should we call someone? Meh. I'm sure he's fine.
Low quality fans of a high quality Bruins team. What a game. I still have to be kind of quiet. It's midnight. These late games. What a game, man. The comeback, the overtime, the goal scored by the top line center, just players flashing skill left and right, intensity, fast-paced, creative, offensive skill. Whew! I really hope you got to catch some of that Oilers Canes game. That was great. The Bruins game sucked buttholes. That was awful, man. Is this what the Utah game was? I still haven't watched it. That wedding took me out for days. So I never saw the Utah game. Which actually brings me to a point real quick I'll make at the beginning of the video. I leave at 5 a.m. tomorrow. Well, technically I have to leave here around 3:30 a.m. But 5 a.m. tomorrow, I'm on a flight to Arizona. I know, the Coyotes happen to not be there anymore, which is a real bummer for me. That's a work trip. So for the next week, I'm in Arizona. I'm still going to try to watch the games and do like the local stuff, but obviously it's not going to be with the setup and all. I'm going to do my best. That's what we're going to do. Yeah, no, is this what the Utah game was like? Is it? Because over 120 minutes plus, the Bruins have scored a goal, which isn't great. Not only is it not great, I saw people doing the upside thing and the optimism, and I love optimism. God, do I love optimism. But reality sometimes prods me a little bit, and they're like, hey, you can be optimistic, but there's still a real situation going on here. And the real situation is this team can't connect on jack shit. There's no forward line outside the fourth line, which, granted, didn't have an amazing game tonight, but they're your fourth line. If they have 7 great games in a row, you just have to start moving that line up the depth chart. No, the fourth line wasn't incredible. The Predators played a good enough game, but the top 9 could not connect on a forward pass. I mean, look, there's no way the Bruins just watched Jacoby Brissett and the Patriots and were like, let's do that. Let's do that. Let's just not be able to connect on a forward pass at all. Well, I can pass back. I can hand it off. Can't pass forward. Can't do it. But you know what the Patriots did? That, granted, hasn't led to them winning more. But they put a rookie in that can throw bombs, man. That has some offensive creativity and skill and can chuck that shit tape to tape. Could we do that? Right? Before this game, this was the Bruins 5-on-5 rankings so far this season. Small sample size. But in shot attempts, we were 31st. In shots on goal, we were dead last, 32nd. Scoring chances, 30th. High danger scoring chances, 30th. Our PDO, which is largely considered the luck stat, which combines your shooting percentage and your save percentage, was 6th best in the league. We are the 6th luckiest team in the league. And somehow our high danger save percentage is 30th. We aren't getting high danger saves, which we are. Swayman's like rounding into form, and he was great tonight. I don't give a crap what you want to say. I thought Swayman was really good. Sure, that last Nyquist one, we're used to him stopping those, but it's a 2-on-1 with a nice move. We're going to leave it alone. We're going to talk about that later. But we're not getting the high danger saves at a high rate through the season. We are not creating scoring chances. The PDO is basically like, hey, you're outscoring what you even should be. That's what's really scary. Is it's like, hey, you should be worse than you've been. We are not. This top 9 is a disaster. It's an absolute disaster. And we're going to get to the Preds in a second, but the pregame lineups, which would shift throughout the game, but were Marchand, Lindholm, Pastrnak. That's a line I had asked for. I got no issue with that. Jones, Coyle, Frederick. I will put a weapon in my mouth. Stop it. Max Jones on the second line. What have you seen, Monty? What have you seen that makes you feel like Max Jones should be in a top 6 role? Zaka Patragiki. That is a form of a line. I actually went like, yeah, you know what? As a third line, dope. Let's see it. Geeky still looks god-awful, but everyone did tonight. I can't just rag on Geeky. And then Beecher, Kostelik, Kepke, because of course you're not changing that. Brazeau, Tufte are the healthy scratches. McAvoy, Lindholm, Zadorov, Carlo, Lori, Peak, and again, those would shift like crazy. Am I crazy in saying that I think Peak's just been really good? I think he's been steady. I think he clears out the net. I don't think he's quick or has a particularly good first pass. He gets stuck in his zone sometimes, but for the most part, I've been pretty happy with Peak. Just throwing that out there. Witherspoon ends up, again, being the healthy scratch on the defensive side, and then Swayman starts. Korpisalo backs up. He moved Jones to the top 6 before he put Patra there. Honestly, if you swap the second and third lines, and you just pretended that the Coyle line was the third line, and then you swapped Freddie and Geeky, so it was Zaka, Patra, Freddie, Jones, Coyle, Geeky, I would have been like, great, and if this sucks too, I'll shut up about it. All right? It's all of this sucks. All of it sucks. The game's awful to watch. It genuinely is. It's not a very great game it's not a very entertaining game to watch because it's a slow slog. And those slogs are really only fun when you're winning. I will watch an entire year of hockey where we win every single game 2-1, and I will be overjoyed. I will have a grin on my face because I like wins. I like wins more than virtually anything else. But it's not that entertaining. Don't care. I'd rather have the win. Especially in playoff hockey. That wasn't fun. Yeah, but we won. We get to play again. This has been a disaster of a start to the year offensively. Defensively, I actually think we're rounding into shape pretty well. Lori is still just all over the place. But I think we're getting there, and we're taking way too many penalties. But these are all conversations we're going to get to. I'm rambling way too long. We're not going to have that much to talk about through the game, though, because not a lot happened. As far as the Predators, a lot of you are going to be upset because we just lost to the 0-5-0 Predators, who are now 1-5-0. I'm not really that upset about that. It's an early season quirk. The Predators were better than the record was showing. They actually led the league before this game, might still in shots taken per game. Their shooting percentage sucked. Nothing was going in. That couldn't last forever because they were creating a lot. The Predators and the Sharks were the only two completely defeated teams remaining in the league, but the Predators were the only team that didn't even have a single point for an overtime loss. It was all regulation. The season is far from over, obviously, for them, but they were 30th in goals for per game played, 31st in goals allowed. They were allowing over 4.6 goals a game. If you already watched the game and you know we got shut out, that's kind of scary to say out loud that we got shut out by a team allowing almost 5 goals a game. That's pretty brutal. They have a top 10 penalty kill, and then they're 17th on the power play. Stamkos has 1 goal in 5 games played. He hasn't been great. Saros had an .875 save percentage going into this one, which it's just ugly all over. It's just ugly all over. But again, we all sit there and went, that can't last. if they bury themselves to something of like a 14-point deficit for the wild card, then it gets kind of scary. Your margin of error is really slim. You have to be way better than the teams ahead of you for a long time to make that kind of ground up, especially if they're not going to go on, an 8-game losing streak or something. So the Predators obviously have a certain level of urgency to their game. We also know that they're not a crap team. Are they a good team? I'm not entirely sure. I think they are. I'm not going to move off of a lot of my preseason opinions until we're at least 15 games into the year. I still think the Wild are dope, though, and I'm really hoping that they prove me right. And all of those comments I get to collect and throw out in a video. The Predators have been gross. The Bruins have also been pretty gross. So this was a battle between two teams that were pretty gross. One just had a better record than the other. I can't believe I have to relive this game right now. This isn't even like cathartic. It's usually cathartic, but this was so bad, dude. Puck drops. Puck drops! Like, comment, subscribe. Nailed it. 13 seconds into the game. Pasta's going to go for hooking. Do you know we lead the league in minors taken? I think we're already at 40. 40 minor penalties in 7 games played. Someone do the math, because it's over 5 per game. At least the only thing that I really get to say about that is, like, anytime someone's like, the refs are favoring the Bruins. Shut up. These aren't even undeserved. The refs didn't screw us in this game. I have 0 complaints about the refs at all in this one. I don't have a single complaint about a referee in this game. Not one. The Bruins sucked. 9 seconds after we go on the penalty kill, O'Reilly is going to just interfere. He just slams, I don't even remember who it was, to the ground. So we're going to 4v4 for a $1.51. It was because he stole his stick. It was a whole thing, but this was blatant. During the 4v4, nothing really happens. 3:15 in, Kostelic and Shen decide to shed him, and Shen probably didn't know what he was agreeing to because he got his absolute gourd tossed in this one. He just kind of put his back of the head down and it was a jackhammer. That was brutal. I wouldn't fight Kostelic. That guy's got something wrong with him. I'm not going to fight that guy. Not that anyone's really putting me up to it. Either way, that's a nice little tussle. Shen loses pretty decidedly. 7:32 in. Coyle on the wall in a battle wins the puck, and he just flings it to the slot. You know when you first start playing hockey, what's the first thing they tell you? Hey, just don't put the puck in the danger area for no reason. Blindly backhanding it into the slot from the wall is no reason. And that's a high danger area. What are we doing? Like, we're talking fundamentals of the game that from longtime vets who have been good hockey players. What are we doing? Either way, it does lead to a huge chance for them. Swayman has to make 2 huge saves. During this play, though, I do want to point out, Peak is annihilating, I want to say, Jankowski out of the slot. Just bodies him. Goes, you can't score if you're on your ass. And Lohrei is watching Novak skate by him to get to the rebound and try to put it in the net. Lohrei has had a awful start to the season. Really bad. Defensively, at least. 7:44 in. Shen for tripping. We are going to the power play. And the power play actually looked pretty good. They lured me in. I was so excited. I was like, okay, hold on. We've got something. Let's see if they can continue that. We didn't score on it, but can we build off of it? Nope. 8:35 left. Max Jones goes for interference. We're going to penalty kill. We kill it. Max Jones, by the way, who's on our second line. 2:55 left. Max Jones is going to go for tripping. Max Jones, at this point, had like 18 minutes played across the season and had 8 penalty minutes. Fuck you. Get off the ice. Get him off the ice. What have we seen? I think Max Jones is a good guy. That was rude of me to say. That was really rude. I don't like that. But what is Monty seeing with this guy? Why are we forcing him into the lineup? Especially the top 6. I'm trying to figure out where Monty sees this team. Anyway, so we're going to the penalty kill because of that tripping call on Jones. It's possession by the Preds, and they get the puck high to Yossi, who just launches this from the right point. And I think it takes 2 deflections, but the one in front of Swayman is O'Reilly, who I'm pretty sure gets a piece. It's a moving screen, and it's going to get him glove side. It's 1-0. That's a power play goal. It's 1-0. It's 1-0 late in the first. Not the end of the game. Popstat immediately gets a breakaway following that failed kill, and Saros makes a huge blocker save. We're going in the second, down a goal. And Bruins open the second period, outshooting Nashville 7-0 in the first 5 minutes. Were these high danger chances? No, not really. In fact, there were very, very few high danger chances. A lot of sprawling in the crease, but if you actually looked at, hey, the puck is being directed into the net and has to make a big save, there was like maybe 3. There was some misleading plays in there. 7 minutes in, a nifty play by the Predators off a Carlo Gigi Patra turnover. Not sure who's to blame here. Carlo gets the puck below our goal line and has time and space and tries to whip it up the boards to Gigi, who misses it, I guess. I didn't get a good camera angle on this. It goes right by him. Patra's coming over to help, thinking Gigi's going to get possession. And what really happens is a Pred player beats him there, just gets to bump it into the slot, where because Patra's not there to help and Carlo's still behind the goal line, it's a 2-on-1 against Zadorov. Zadorov takes a hooking call to prevent a goal. It's a good penalty to take. I know we don't always love that phrasing, but it is a good penalty to take. It just means that Zadorov has 7 straight games of a minor penalty taken. That's not great either. I'm not upset at him for this one because he had to do what he had to do. He hooks him. We're going to kill the ensuing power play by the Predators. 7:07 left. McAvoy gets to a puck first. He gets there first. He still gets his pass blocked by the forechecking Stamkos, which is a bummer. But then, after it gets blocked, Stamkos gets inside positioning on McAvoy. And after that, McAvoy's going to hit him in the face so hard that he's going to bleed. And so we're going to have a double minor to kill because McAvoy failed to circulate the puck even though he got there first, lost a board battle to Stamkos, and then nailed him in the face with a stick. It was casual. That's what's really bothering me, I think, is a ton of these plays, it's like we got in and we just didn't want to be physical. It's still preseason. Let's make sure we're not hurt. We're playing for the postseason. There's no guarantee this team makes the playoffs, especially playing the way they are. I have no clue what the overall feeling in the locker room is right now, but it's not what it needs to be. That I can promise. This is a casual hockey team right now. They're very relaxed in the worst way. Double minor to kill. And as it's expiring, in fact, this is not even a power play goal. This is how just at the end of it was. 3:05 left. As the double minor is about to come off the board, the Predators have the Bruins hemmed in. Evangelista to the left of the net spins and just whips a blind backhand into the slot. Novak gets enough of it to have it squeeze through Swayman's pads and trickle into the net. This was good puck movement by the Predators. I'm not even that upset that this got through because it's a 4-minute double minor. There's a lot of pressure through this. Everyone was covering a guy. It is what it is. So we failed that penalty kill, but technically we'd still killed the penalty because it just after it expired, it went in the net. It's 2-0. It felt like an insurmountable hill. I know that we used to have teams. It's been a while since the offense looked this abysmal. We're 7 games in. Let's not overreact. But it's been a while since it looked this rough. And I was thinking back to those teams that had Bergeron and Marchand and Pasta. And then, well, they had Krejci. But after that, it was a lot of nothing. And we were a first-line team. Everyone joked about it in the league. Like, if you shut down the first line, you beat the Boston Bruins. Problem was, that line was damn near impossible to shut down. They were brilliant for years, and we were still a winning hockey club year in and year out just because of how good they were. Those teams were better offensively than this one. We don't even have that one line. Unless the fourth line is going to somehow turn into prime Bergeron's line. Like, just brutal. This offense has been that bad that a 2-0 lead or a 2-0 deficit going into the third feels insurmountable. Third period starts. with a pasta breakaway immediately, where he fucking toe picks and falls over and just throws it on net as he's falling. This wasn't our game. This wasn't our game. I don't know if that's an excuse. 2:42 in, Smith for high sticking. We're going to go to the power play. After a breakdown and almost clearance of the puck, which is saved by McAvoy, the puck is punched back in and ends up on Pasta's stick on the inside lower portion of the left circle. There's no one between him and Saros. And he decides to stutter step, hesitate, wait, collaborate, and listen. And here comes Marchand. Backdoor. He tries to fling it to him. Diving play by the defenseman means there's no shot actually taken on this play. If it's you versus the goalie, Pasta, I don't know if you noticed this. You're the guy. I need you to score the goals. Don't have a ton of faith in anyone else doing that right now, other than fucking Kepke and Kostelic for some reason. I can't explain that one. I can't explain you. Please just shoot that shit. Or just go to the net. Do whatever you have to do. And Saros made some huge saves on Pasta in this one. I can't believe he gave away that chance. Killing me. 7:13 left. 2-on-1 for the Preds after a turnover in the offensive zone. This happens out of desperation. We're pushing. We're down 2 goals. We have Lindholm up high. Puck gets turned over. Nyquist gets a spring of 2-on-1. And the defender decides to kind of fake it and then cover the pass. Swayman knows he has to take the shooter. Shooter beats him low glove. It's 3-0 just like that. Goalie gets pulled with 6:20 left. 6:04 left. Evangelistic buries it from like 120 feet. It's 4-0. We do get another power play that does jack shit all. But that's your loss. 4-0 shutout by Saros, who played a damn good game. Problem is, it wasn't that good. Like, he played a good game. We made it look like an amazing game. Like a great game. Let's talk about some game notes. Game notes. Special teams are drowning. I don't think the penalty kill has been bad. And the numbers reflect it being fine. It's fine. The power play is just abysmal. It's awful. Like, obviously we have to take less penalties because this is getting old. But the power play, it was a goose egg again, as you know, because we didn't score a goal. What do we have? 3, maybe still just 2 power play goals this whole year? Why is it this bad? And a better question is, why is it still this bad? Because it was this bad last year too. This is why when I say like I'm looking at Monty more, I'm not ready to fire Monty. I'm not ready to ship him off. But there are too many issues that really do feel like Monty should have an effect on. This was one of them. The power play is awful and continues to be awful. And frankly, even the 5-on-5 though, they're so bad. This is another game note. They're so bad at connecting on passes. Everything is into the skates over and over and over and over and over again. No one can connect tape to tape. We can't create anything. We can't possess the puck. It's if we get into the offensive zone and manage to get a pass off, it's a save. It's a one and done. We don't recollect. It's back the other way. The offense is stagnant and brutal. We don't have a ton of the personnel to fix that. Monty's supposed to be an offensive coach. That's not happening. And he's still going with lines that we know suck, that we know are bad. In fact, at the end of the second period, we got a small taste of a Zacha Patra Paster line that actually created a few chances. And then, started the third, didn't see it. I saw it for like 10 seconds midway through the third, but I'm pretty sure that was a line change quirk and not an actual they were going out with that line. I don't know. The offense needs a lot of work. But what is very clear is if you refuse to put Patra in the top 6, we need to call someone up. Max Jones can't be in the top 6. Riley Tufte cannot be in the top 6. Morgan Geekie cannot be in the top 6. Trent Frederick can be. It's not an ideal situation, but he can be. Just call somebody up. This is awful. It's awful. And what blows my mind a little bit more about this is a long-winded video, and I apologize for that. You have a guy like Fabian Lysell, or Georgi Merkulov, or even Farinacci. You have guys that you could inject just for a spark, right? Kuntar, Duran. Just bring them up. Give them a little bit of rope. Let them try something here. The reason Lysell particularly comes to mind is, although he's not, lighting up the AHL right now, he's got such fluid skating and such creativity and such speed. You're worried about his defensive abilities, even though defensively, I think he's pretty damn good through the neutral zone. Do you know who's great defensively? Coyle and Marchand. If you're going to put them on that line instead of Geeky or Jones or whoever, having two of your three forwards be excellent defensive forwards and one of them not, that's what a top six line typically is. I don't understand the thought process of continuing to roll with lines that you know are abysmal. Max Jones, you put in the top six, who took back-to-back penalties, just eroding any momentum we had. What are we doing? I don't understand Monty's plan. I don't get it. I'm not in the building, right? There's got to be something going on that I'm not seeing. I cannot explain some of these choices at all. Last game, no. I need Lorai to settle in and start making the right play. My God, this guy is frantic as hell right now. Settle in. Mature. It's okay. I don't know, maybe the pressure of him potentially getting shipped out of the lineup, which he might after this game. It was a tough one for him. He's so capable. Just needs to settle a little bit. Needs to focus on his assignments. Simplify. He'll get there. I'm not too worried about that. Anyway, this seems like kind of a bummer of a video. It's really not. This is not the end of the world. The team's fine. The record's fine right now. There's a long road ahead of us, and there's potential here. But holy crap, stop putting guys in the top six who are nowhere close to that level. That feels like an obvious to me. Apparently it's not. Go Bees. Go Bees! Of course, we have to give a huge thank you to everyone who's supporting this channel, especially the high-quality inspectors, our top-line tier members, Chris and Erica, Jeff with a G, Tommy Braga, The Bugman, Roland22, GD Viperworks, Len Cruz, Moonlighter TV, Brock Nope, Han Slomo, Coach D, The Atomic Lizard, Bradley Johnson, Aaron Adams, Brett Arney, Pincent, Adam Ella, and Nick Citrullo. Thank you all so much for supporting the channel. You're all studs and studettes. And of course, a huge thank you to the Stallions, our all-star tier members, Joel, Doots42, Heil E. Coyote, Darren Woodbury, Abraxion, John Kirk, Michael DiPaolo, Wolf Warrior, Vinny, Adrian Winter, Tupton D. Tashi, Nightmare Eco, Bruins Smash, DeKingery, The Only Newts, A Tasty Snack, and Jeremy. You are all absolute legends. I appreciate you eternally. And as usual, go Bees!